I'm Alex.
And I'm Teddy.
And I'm Spencer.
And we are
The Button Mappers.
Hey, the Button Mappers.
Hey, y'all. Welcome to the Buttons, where we get buckled and don't chuckle because we raise knuckles. We're here today to map out Sonic and Knuckles in the voice of Knuckles. I'm here today with my host. Introduce yourself.
I'm Alex and Knuckles.
Hi, Alex and Knuckles. I'm Teddy and Knuckles.
I feel like we should just put and Knuckles. Like, this video should be the Button Mappers and Knuckles.
Featuring Knuckles.
Featuring Knuckles. So much Knuckles.
Welcome to the map out for Sonic and Knuckles.
We made it, guys. Oh my god. Can you believe that we did Sonic 1, what, like last September?
Yeah, that's wild.
And we're at and Knuckles.
We've come a long way. We've moved past the numerical system.
We beat the numbers. No Sonic games from this point on have numbers, really.
Well, Adventure 2.
Well, you know what I mean, without another subtitle.
3D Blast.
Like, nothing is just, like, Sonic. Okay, you know what? Fuck it. There is a Sonic 4, but we're not talking about Sonic 4.
Alright, I wasn't planning on it.
Yeah, we could just forget that one happened.
I can't wait to listen to the Sonic CD. Moving on.
To the Sonic CD.
You know what's crazy is, like, we were thinking about it the other day, and we may be the only two Sonic fans in our YouTube community.
Yeah. We were talking about that because we were like, we should bring somebody on for the and Knuckles map out. And we were like, who?
Guys, if you like Sonic or Knuckles, you should let us know in the comments.
Yeah, I don't
below.
know. I don't know how I've been on YouTube this long, and I've made no other friends that like Sonic, except for Ted.
Yeah, well, I'm glad we share a common interest.
And even then, I don't think Teddy's fallen as far down the Sonic rabbit hole as I have.
I mean, I just learned about a new Knuckles meme today. That wasn't Ugandan. So.
Do you know the way?
I know the way to the map out.
So we should set up some stipulations here. We're not doing Sonic 3 and Knuckles. We said that in the Sonic 3 map out, but just in case you're tuning in today without listening to the Sonic 3 map out, what the fuck is wrong with you? Go back and listen to the Sonic 3 map out.
I agree. It's a good one.
So yeah, we're not doing the combined game. We're doing Sonic and Knuckles as a standalone experience, which some people experience the Sonic and Knuckles experience.
The experience,
Which some people may call blasphemous, but I don't care.
I think it's worth experiencing. As you said, experience. Sonic and Knuckles is a game that is, I guess it's. Some people consider it an add-on to Sonic 3, but I think it's very much worth exploring in its own right and also considering it as its own game because you can play it as its own game, and when you get it on these compilations, it's marketed as its own game. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's usually split up. Like a few random compilations have them put together as an option, but like the majority of the compilations and the re-releases have been split up for some reason. So the way I see it is Sega sees them as two games. I'm going to see them as two games.
Yeah, so we're going to hold it on its own merits.
And Knuckles.
You know what Knuckles' favorite food is?
What's that?
Mushrooms. It's the first stage in Sonic and Knuckles. It's the Mushroom Hill Zone.
Ooh, I think Nintendo's going to sue.
And Knuckles. This one is famous from the Sonic movie, no?
Oh yes, this is the. I don't know why they chose this one to be in the Sonic movie, but like, yeah, there's a mushroom zone that Sonic has to escape to if something happens on Earth, and That's it. That's Mushroom.
So bizarre. Why did they pick that? So they did Green Hill and they did the Mushroom Hill Zone.
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, because they made jokes like, "Oh, mushrooms are stinky," and there's no way there but mushrooms. But I don't understand it. It's like, that's a strange reference.
Yeah, I mean, I guess for the movie's sake, whatever. Like, it's the Sonic movie. For the game's sake, how do you feel about this one as a starting map?
Oh, dude, as starting Sonic stages go, I would say this one's almost as unique as Angel Island. Maybe not quite as good as Angel Island, but it's like, if you're playing this starting out at Mushroom Hill, it still feels noticeably different than Emerald Hill and Green Hill or whatever.
My first experience with Mushroom Hill Zone was actually in Sonic Generations on the 3DS, and I really liked replaying it on that version. I had this real sense of speed and loops, and just like, I felt like I was really up in the air in like the clouds somewhere, climbing on these mushroom vines.
Yeah, and also, like, if you're continuing on from Sonic 3, I think this is also like a good start to like the second chapter too, because you're back to like a grassy area, I was
wondering though about how well this really transitions from Launch Base in Sonic 3.
That's a good. I mean, because Launch Base is like launching the Death Egg,
right? And you just got into this huge bout with Eggman, and now it's like Mushroom Hill.
I haven't played them attached together, so I don't know if there's a stage transition there or not. I know there's a lot of stage transitions in those games. That'd be something I'd be interested in going back and finding out. But good thing we're not talking about Sonic 3 today.
I have some issues with this level, especially the first 2 times I tried it and had to text you to figure out how to get past that damn trapeze act.
I know you do. I want to go on record here by saying that I've been playing the original Sonic games, maybe minus CD. I played CD when I got older, but the Genesis titles since I was very young, and I have played this level like 1,000 times, and I've never had any issue with it.
So the issue doesn't really come up until Act 2 of the Mushroom Hill Zone. It starts off, okay, the stage is pretty good. It feels big. It feels large. One of my issues with the zone, before we get to like my major issue, is that there's a lot of things that slow you down. There's these little gophers that pop out of the ground and throw mushrooms at you and then just knock you back. There's also like these little like chains that come out of the ground and like you have to spin dash to get away from them. I found a lot of that kind of slowed down my experience for Mushroom Hill Zone, but the parts where you get to go fast are really cool. What do you think about some of those elements of the Mushroom Hill Zone?
I really like. For one, for a level called Mushroom Hill, there's the mushrooms themselves are very prominent, and I like to hop on them because they give you like a little bounce. They don't really do much in terms of like actually functioning in the stage, but they're a nice touch. I really like the little vine loops you get to go through. The parts where like they do stop you with the chains can be a little annoying. I'm not a huge fan of those. The like roosters that like blow like the wind your way and stuff, and those kind of suck at points. One of the elements in this stage that I do really like though is the weird like grabby, I don't know what's called, like the weird mechanism where like you grab one of the hooks and you pull down and it like lifts you up. It doesn't really serve a purpose, but like you get to see your character like in little holes through the ground as you go up. I don't know, it just looks cool.
It has a cool sound effect too. I agree though, a lot of nuisances here, and I think another one is that dragonfly that has like spikes on it. That one pisses me off.
Yeah, that one you gotta hit it just right, or else you're gonna lose a lot of rings.
And he comes up in the worst places too, like right as soon as you spin dash, it's right into his face.
So what, because you kind of alluded to it, what was your hang up with this stage?
Okay, I don't get why they did this, but they put one of these, actually there is one in the first act, but it's not as much of an issue. In the second act, when you're playing the Sonic, you're cruising along through the Mushroom Hill Zone, and all of a sudden, here's this little swing. A swing that can go all around like the lever or whatever it is. And you have to swing as Sonic up onto a platform. And if you don't make it, you have to go scroll down this wall, hit the bumper, and then come back up, run back, get hit by the spring, back into the I don't even know what to call it at this point, the swing, I guess, and aim your control stick and time your jump just right so that you end up on the ledge. The first time I did this, I ran the timer over 10 minutes because I couldn't do it. I had to keep going back and forth. And at that point, I was like, I'm not playing this game again. So the first time I played it, I was actually playing on the DS of all things. I was like, I give up. I'm not doing it. So, we did our first 3 Sonic map outs, and I was really worried because I didn't think I could clear this game. And Alex kind of had to coach me through it, just say tilt your control stick just right. I had to play it 2 more times before I really got comfortable with it, and even then it still takes me a couple tries to get right up on that ledge as Sonic. As Knuckles, you don't even have to worry about it because he just chops through the wall at those segments, but I think it's a bit of a slowdown, and really just it doesn't even serve any purpose in the rest of the game, so I disapprove Mushroom Hill Zone Act 2.
I have it yeah, whenever you were asking about that, I was like, are you talking about Mushroom Hill? Because I was like, I've been playing this game all my life, and I was like, I never thought of that as an issue or had that problem before. I just knew where to go, So it's interesting to see somebody like you that didn't play this game growing up, to really have that caveat, and I can see where that could be a frustration. And you alluded to something a minute ago too. You said playing as Knuckles. This is the first game where you get to play as Knuckles. And what's unique here, unlike Sonic 2 where you could play as Tails or whatever, in this game, Knuckles actually serves a purpose. He has different routes and different level designs.
Yeah, and I thought that was really cool. You could bypass a lot of these things, even just from the very start of the first act. I think he goes under the level.
Yeah, and that's kind of a staple of the Knuckles playthroughs. There was a little different. Even in Mania, there was a little different.
He can also glide, and he can climb walls, so that really makes him able to explore the levels in a way that Sonic just can't.
Do you know the canon reason why he flies?
Is it something to do with he's red?
It's his dreadlocks. Apparently he traps the air under his dreadlocks and it makes him float. I think it's one of the stupidest explanations to a character mechanic. They could have just made him they didn't have a flying squirrel character later on, but they could have made him a flying squirrel and have him glide that way, what, or something. What the fuck? No one knows what echidna is, so I guess it's all right. But if they would have had this explanation for any other animal, people would have been like, "That's stupid."
I don't know. Maybe I should grow dreads now.
Yeah, dreads can make you fly, guys.
Glide to work, save money on gas.
I'm taking the dreads to work, floating through the air.
Rastaman Knuckles, glide to work.
So, my issue with Mushroom Hill is that there's too many fucking mechanics here. For the first stage, at least.
What were they working on?
They're working on my nerves. So as you alluded to earlier, we had the things. Well, I said that the little things you pull up on. That I like those. There's the chains that stop you. There's the little swing. There's the little mushroom hang glider. You get to glide back and forth.
That one's a Knuckles thing primarily too.
Yes, but there are. I believe there are sections of Sonic. I think. I may be wrong.
I don't know. I bypassed it, but you may be right that some of the paths have that.
And then there's those little poles you swing on. There's just a lot at play here, and I could see this for somebody going in as their first time playing a Sonic game being a little overwhelming.
For a first stage, it's not very welcoming, but it is a nice forecaster of things to come.
Yeah, even with that said, I don't think this is a bad stage.
No, it like you said before, it is very unique, and I welcome the challenge, to be honest. I think it's nice to have a Sonic game that has, a good curve of difficulty, and it reminds me, while it definitely has the Sonic speed and the Sonic running and everything and the spin dash, this almost gives off Shinobi vibes or something.
Yeah, I could see that. How'd you feel about that mid boss?
The one who chops wood?
Yeah.
Well, he wasn't a mechanic, that's for sure. Now, I realize the trick is if you keep the fire shield before you go to him, you could just sit under him and just knock out the...
I don't even do that. I just I'm able to just like time my jumps between his swings of the axe, and I can get him down within like the first little part. Like
yeah, the mid boss is nothing special. I thought the Robotnik fight was okay.
I have issues with that one mainly because I get hit not by like the because like okay so Eggman is like in this little I don't know what you call it, little vehicle flying away from you, and there's like these poles that you run between, and the poles have like chains of like spikes on them, and you have to like either run under them or jump over them. The problem is that that's not what gets me a lot. What gets me is the thrusters on the front of his fucking vehicle. Those things hit me all the time during that fight.
You have to run to get underneath him and then bump him under underneath. I actually found it really tough as Knuckles.
Like, I'll just be trying to jump over the spikes, and I'll accidentally hit one of his like thrusters, and that'll hurt me. Oh, one thing we didn't mention about this stage also is that it changes almost like it almost like changes seasons in a way, like as you play through it.
Yeah, I think what happens is like the cutscene is that Knuckles like propels you forward. It like the color palette changes, I think, into a slightly different mushroom. It's like purple-esque, I think, maybe. I don't know. I don't have a rationale for it, but it is nice to see like the slight difference.
Yeah, it goes from like a green area to like a browny area with like blue mushrooms into like a white area with green mushrooms. And I think it's the first time we've really seen like a stage change up its main color palette that much through a Sonic level. Like,
it's not the first time in this game too.
But that's interesting to me. But with that said, I think do you have anything else to say about Mushroom Hill?
I'll be laying off the mushrooms for a while.
Yahoo!
Gotta go fast.
Gotta go. Gotta get a copyright strike. So we go from.
Was I that good? Oh man, I'm flattered.
We go from Mushroom Hill to Flying Battery.
Flying through the skies. Who put that battery in the air? Was it AA or triple? Because Sonic is one great franchise. Alex, talk to us about Flying Battery Zone.
It's interesting to me that this is the second stage.
Tell me why.
Tell me why? Because it's a giant airship that we've seen airships like this previously, like in the first stage of Sonic 3, bombed Angel Island and stuff. It's this giant airship, and usually these levels are like saved for later in Sonic games, but this is level 2.
When I played this, the first thing I thought was Sonic Mania, and it wasn't this game's fault, you know. But I thought a lot of it was very similar to what I experienced from Flying Battery and Sonic Mania.
Yeah, that's one of the stages. Like they do add elements later on in that stage in Mania, but they kept a lot of it fairly like faithful to the original version, which I think is good. I mean, for one, this stage has a kick-ass theme too.
Do you know also what I think about it is I think back to that airship level in Sonic 2. I think it's called Wing Fortress. And this zone is, I think, a way better version of Wing Fortress. Now, somebody who's like a super platformer fan could argue like the other way, but I found this one like there was less hazard of like falling into like the abyss and just waiting on like dumb timed platform jumps. So I really enjoyed, like you said, the soundtrack and just like what the contents of this level were. Can you talk to us about some of the contents of Flying Battery Zone?
Well, okay. There's a lot of like going inside and outside the ship, which is really neat. And also there's like these like colanders that you run in, and like you run like kind of like in a circle inside of them, and you have to time like how you, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but they like you have to like time where you are to like get to the next one. There's these little like monkey bars you get to grab onto, which are really cool. I don't know, like that doesn't add anything also, but they're really neat.
And some of them drop down through the ground, and you have to find the one that goes down so you can progress through the level.
There's like little launch pads that launch you forward.
That even starts from the very beginning of the level. There's a launch pad that just shoots you up high into the ship. So.
One of the mechanics in this stage I don't understand and I don't really like is the sections that have like the little, it's like the square formation and like little like balls that like travel through them. You know what I'm talking about?
There's like one of them in Act 1. I'm looking at it right now. That one's a pain because like the second you get to the top of that, there's one of those like fire spitters.
I do enjoy the fact that there's a lot of like the things with like that shoot fire on either side. They're like springs basically, but they shoot fire on both sides. So you hit right on the top and then they bounce you up.
I honestly don't think they were implemented as well as in Mania, now that I'm really considering it.
You're right. They did it better in Mania, but what didn't they do better in Mania? There's a lot of like the capsules that you usually get at the end of Sonic stages. They're sprinkled throughout the stage. They have like random things like coins or enemies at some at some points. And on the top of the ship there are propellers. And on those propellers you can swing on them and kind of like jump from bar to bar. It's very, or pole to pole. It's very fun, and that's an element that I always enjoy doing.
Do they not do that in Wing Fortress as well?
Did they?
I thought they did. That one is entirely on the exterior of the ship. I think some of this stuff is brought back. I actually, I really like the parts where you had to go underneath the ship because they were still challenging. And you had to be aware of them. Like, this is one of those sections where I think repeat plays is a must, and especially level memorization. Not to, like, such a severe extent, but like you said, too, with, like, those spinning cylinders where you had to kind of predict your patterns, those were mostly well implemented. Like, once you get the groove of it, you can kind of just, like, spin through them. I'm thinking... looking at the level and even just hearing what you're describing, almost what we said about Mushroom Hill, where it's just a lot of mechanics. It's a lot of things. The question is, do the good ones outweigh the bad?
I think in this level they do.
Can you elaborate on why?
Too much of an annoyance. There's not a lot that stops you per se in this level. You usually keep your speed going in this stage pretty well. Maybe like the monkey bars stop you, and those sections where like the weird electromagnet goes off and the things rise up. Those kind of stop you from like time to time. But I think other than that, this one's pretty easy to keep your speed going.
I have to say, I saw some crazy speed runs of this stage.
Do you know what this stage reminds me of?
Sonic Mania.
Rocket Knight Adventures.
Okay. Sonic Mania was too easy to guess, and I said it earlier. Why? Why Rocket Knight?
As you were mentioning earlier, the parts where on the bottom of the ship and stuff, and you can like fall to your death like off the ship and stuff. Those sections feel really similar to one of the Rocket Knight levels. Where you're on an airship.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of get those vibes from this stage.
Fair enough.
The mid boss of this stage
is dumb.
is easy as fuck.
It's just a time sink. It would take you just as much time to like just sit through this boss as it would to get through the level.
It's a capsule, and you reach this capsule. It is kind of like a fun hoax because you reach the capsule and it's like, oh, that's the end of the stage. You go to pop it, and then like it grows eyes and like these little arms with spiked balls at the end of them, and all you got to make it do is hit itself in the head.
Yeah, you just stand on there, wait for it to charge up, and then get off the thing and do that 7 more times. It's
not a fun boss, but I do like how they tried to do like a fake out with that one.
Yeah, I like the concept. Like what was one really cool thing about playing this for the first time, about like playing through the most of the game? Can you guess, or do you want me to tell you?
Tell me.
I will tell you. it was really just learning a new game, a new Sonic game for the first time. Because I've played, these games so many times, so I had to really just, like, see what I was experiencing and figure it out. So, like, I had to play with it. I had to see that I had to stand on the guy's head, let him hit himself. And I kind of realized it here in this level, too. Like, this was me relearning a game, and it was fun.
Yeah, I wish I could have that experience. That's the bad thing about being so involved in the franchise like this is like, yeah, I can never have those virgin eyes, Teddy. I'm sorry.
Nothing better than the first time.
What about that boss fight though?
Okay, this one had the marble top. What is it called? Marble Hill Zone top? Hilltop Zone. Marble Hilltop Zone.
What are you talking about? I know the marble. Is it Marble
Gardens?
Marble Gardens.
Yeah. Who needs Madison Square Gardens when you have Marble Gardens? Apparently Sonic. Because this one felt just like it, where the stage is collapsing, you go chase him to the top layer. And, it wasn't original, and I think if I was to play this with Sonic 3 in the same experience, I would probably feel maybe like I was playing a bit too much of the same. I don't know.
You're right, even though... this would have been a while after that level, though.
The lead up to that stage collapsing is kind of dumb. You just avoid the lasers and you let them like hit the ground and then it just lets go. But I was watching a speedrunner; you can avoid it entirely if you just run past them fast enough.
Yeah, this is a cop out of a boss fight.
Yeah, and then Robotnik's just like spinning on the ledge, and you just wait and you hit him. I wasn't that impressed.
They did it better in Mania.
Ain't that the truth?
But all in all, I like Flying Battery. Whenever I saw this stage come back in Sonic Mania, I was happy because I was like, oh, somebody else appreciates this stage as much as I do. Mm-hmm. I was like, wow, I didn't realize that. So.
Who knew batteries could fly? Do you know what happens when you run out of battery?
What's that?
You fall and you come crashing, and hopefully there's a pile or a polis
you are stretching it.
Sand.
You are fucking stretching it without
because we're landing in the Sandopolis Zone. Alex,
isn't it nuts that they haven't done a sand level till now?
And why haven't they brought this back?
Oh God, Sandopolis. I don't know what anybody else thinks. I want to say that I like Sandopolis, but this has got to be one of the hardest goddamn areas in a Sonic game.
Very. Oh my gosh! But the second I started it, I knew I was in for a treat. This one I felt was like a better oil ocean.
Yeah, you think so? Elaborate.
I think so.
Why?
Let's talk about the stage first, and I'll kind of tell you why. At least for the first act zone, when you start, you come like dropping down, and you plummet into the sand, and then Sonic just shoots out. That was actually like an ice cap transition. Like when he pops up on the snowboard,
yeah.
or it's a snowboard, right? Not skis.
Yeah, snowboard.
Okay, good. Snowboard kids. So Sonic comes popping out of the sand, and then I gotta look at the map for this, but he has to like learn the level a little bit. He comes like bounces into like at high speed, because you're like it's going down like a loop section of sand into the streaming pit of quicksand, I guess, but you actually have to hop up the quicksand to get higher in the level. And then there's other things that happen, like you have to push these blocks, and then you have to like follow the trajectory for the blocks. And I found there's a lot of sequences where I could go fast or jump through huge layers of just open air. And there's really a lot to explore. I think if you're adventurous and you brave some of the quicksand, you'll find new areas just within this one zone act. So I was really impressed and taken aback by it. One of the things I really loved too the first time I experienced it was these little like hang roping sections where you like grab on and then you push off the wall and then you go like spinning. I was like, this is cool.
Yeah, those were really cool.
And I have to give it up for the columns. They were, just
Dude, columns is here.
it's here, and we don't have beer, but if we did, we'd put one up for the columns.
What'd you say about columns?
I said they were good.
Yeah, I do really like the mechanic of swimming up the quicksand. That's really neat. They do kind of bring back those slide sections from Oil Ocean. Is that what you're talking about?
That actually comes up more in like the second act. Although I didn't make that connection, that's definitely a return. But that's also from like Labyrinth Zone.
Why did we bring that up in this one, man? I don't want to talk about Labyrinth Zone.
Go ahead.
I don't want to talk about Labyrinth Zone.
We can move on.
Okay.
But just talk to us about Sandopolis.
Sandopolis gives me major like Indiana Jones and or Quackshot on the Genesis vibes. It's a very adventurous looking stage, and I'm just talking about Act 1 because this zone is actually like the first time in this game that we see two zones that are like, two acts that are like vastly different. So the first one's mainly outdoors. There are some indoor segments, but there's like the slides, the sand you can hop up, those little rope segments you were talking about. There's little bouncy, I don't know what you call them, like little bouncy streams that like bounce you off and stuff. There's columns. And
no escape. It's the Genesis,
Yeah, and I mean, other than that, it's pretty basic. This one, I actually say Act 1 isn't that challenging. It's got a fair bit of challenge, but it's not why I was saying this level is like one of the hardest levels.
So let's do the transition. I think you're absolutely right that Act 1 and Act 2 are vastly different and each discussable in their own rights. So the transition here is like after you've descended your way into this big like open sandy space. It's not a beach, but the next act is. So get it? No? Okay. So, this golem, or first off, before this golem pops up, this pyramid is sprouting out of the ground, and you, like, sit there and just, like, watch this huge, ancient, piece of art just, like, sprout up, and then a golem pops up, and you have to hit him into the sand. As soon as you do that, you actually end up going into the pyramid. Alex, what's it like inside the pyramid for Sandopolis Zone Act 2?
This is where the stage is like, oh, you're having a fun time.
Well, fuck that.
I love this level, and I also dread playing through it every single time. I have such like conflicting emotions toward this stage because it is such a great idea. But god damn is it hard. So starting this stage inside the pyramid, you have to, for one, push these little blocks to like open doors, which seems like, oh, okay, that's not, that's gonna be nothing. Like the doors slowly shut, but you're pretty quick. You can get through that, And then you realize that it's getting darker. And you have to pull these little hooks to turn the lights back on. Because if it gets dark, these ghosts come out of nowhere and start fucking attacking you. And that's the stage.
This is one to haunt you.
It's a whole game of like trying to push the block to like open the doors and then pull the lever to get the lights back on and then run through the door as fast as you can. And it's a challenge.
It really is, because there's even segments where, like, as you get further in the level, they have like those sand slides, and you gotta like push your way up onto an awkward one. It's not like, and that was already confusing enough to begin with in Labyrinth Zone, but this one is just, it has that. It has the ghosts and the light segments. There's parts where the quicksand is rising, and you said that for you the shutting doors weren't a problem. It actually crushed down on me a couple of times. There was like one or two really annoying ones where you had to like time the door opening with pushing a block, turning on the light, and then squeezing through the door before it shut. I really had a hard time with a couple segments here, and the first time I played it as Sonic, I was like, nope, I'm doing the Knuckles playthrough.
I constantly miss the light things. So I've had many times where I've gotten too far in, and I have already gotten to a point where I can't pull another light switch, and the ghosts are coming after me, and you can survive that. Like, that's manageable, but it is not easy.
This is the long one. I mean, even on my second playthrough, it probably took me like 7 or 8 minutes to just clear this one act, which is a little crazy because, you know, like Sonic 1, I can do each one in like 2 to 3 minutes.
Even at that, though, with how difficult the stage is and stuff, do you like it?
Yeah, I do. I think even though it's very tough, it's very fair. You know, there's some things that some of the other Sonic games do that I don't like. Like, they have things that will crush you against the wall. They have, like, these pillars that, like, you know, move left to right, but they don't actually crush you against the wall. So, like, that's one instance of it being fair. There's lots of ring opportunities, and even just, like, the chance to keep pulling the light switch if it's, like, around you. You can always, like, kind of backtrack if you're worried that, like, the ghosts are going to come out. The ghosts also have, like, a decent bit of time before they start really trying to attack you. Like, they go through 3 phases. 1 ghost appears, 2 ghost appears, 3 ghost appears, and they have devil horns, and then it's, like, already, like, 30 seconds before they start attacking you. So I never feel like I'm being cheated against. I just feel like it's a lot to manage.
What do you feel about those segments where you have to, like, pop the little cork and, like, the sand starts filling up the like, room you're in?
Yeah, it was clever. I thought it was really clever, like, the first time I tried it because, like, it's a new way to kind of escalate through the stage. And obviously, as Knuckles, you can avoid a lot of that because you can just climb the walls.
Yeah,
which is why I enjoyed doing the playthrough as Knuckles. But
you know, I've never thought about it, but this is an interesting point because later on in the Sonic franchise, there's another level with Knuckles, and it's a pyramid, and it's ghost-themed.
The Ghost of Knuckles. So
I've never put 2 and 2 together, but I'm guessing this is like where that motif came from. But like,
maybe Sonic died.
Welcome to game. This has been game theory or whatever.
Sonic was resurrected. It's the spirit of Sonic. Sonic died for our sins, and he had a pyramid erected for himself. I'm done with that. Okay.
Okay. I was hoping you were done with that.
Pour one out for the hog.
How about this boss fight, though?
How about it?
Yeah, it kind of sucks.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan. It was like a pacified Sonic 2 end boss.
Yeah, it's this big, like, sandy brick-looking thing, and then you hop on its hands, bop it in the head, and then Eggman appears, and you hit him.
What was Eggman doing there on the bottom of the pyramid?
What was Eggman doing? It's silly.
He gets knocks out of his airship, and then he just like finds his way to an ancient pyramid and hides inside of a golem, and you know he's like waiting for Sonic Hedgehog, Sonic Jones rather, me.
Sonic Hedgehog. Yeah, what is he doing there? Lord.
It's like, oh, let's shoehorn, Robotnik inside the pyramid.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that boss, and I hope I never see it again.
Alex.
Yeah.
If you could descend beneath the pyramids, where would you go?
To the reef.
Really? The coral reef?
The lava reef.
Lava Reef Zone.
I don't know if this is supposed to be what this is, but since we are still, I don't know if we actually are still on Angel Island or, whatever, but like there's a volcano, and I always thought this level was like tied to that,
This one is like strikingly peppy, especially compared to the last one.
You're becoming more like your father.
This is Pepe. This is Pepe. So, I know, like, I noticed, like, first things first, like, it's just the music. Something like that. And it's strikingly different from the pyramid, which was very ominous, low-sounding, like, baritone, I guess, or just tones, whatever. I guess you get this sense that, like, there's a lot of activity inside this volcano, and There's lots of lava segments, there's spikes, there's things falling down from the ceiling. It almost feels like I forget the name of it, that monsterish mansion area from Sonic 2. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
the
yeah.
Cave? Mystic Cave.
Yeah, Mystic Cave.
This feels like Mystic Cave, but I feel like it's a bit better.
This is another one of those levels that's very cramped, kind of like Mystic Cave or the godforsaken Labyrinth Zone.
The return of Labyrinth.
God damn it.
Who needs a Labrador when you can have a labyrinth?
I would say, honestly, though, so far we've been talking about how all the stages have a lot of gimmicks. I don't think this one has a lot of gimmicks. It definitely has some gimmicks. There's little things that shoot fireballs. Normal Sonic style traps. There's some doors and switches, and there's the little things you rev on for little elevators.
So that's where all the switches are.
But all in all, I don't think this area has a lot of gimmicks.
Yeah, it's straight lava. It's straight lava and rocks, and starting from Act 1. It's a big stage though. I'm just looking at the map, a little intense.
I would say the only fault with this stage is that it is very samey while you're playing through it.
That's true. I almost forgot that point. When I was playing it, as you go more through the level, it feels like you've repeated a couple sections.
Yeah, they kind of almost cut and paste some of the stuff. It kind of felt like.
You did say one interesting thing before, but before I get there, just some of the interesting stage hazards that actually make a repeat occurrence in Mania, where I'm not sure that this level was done better. I don't really remember, but it has the poison cloud spewer, so you have to avoid them, which I actually found not so bad here. But if you don't, the clouds will deplete your rings and then eventually kill you. You can get the fire shield, which will prevent you from taking any damage from lava, etc., and just being able to walk on lava. Sonic, biblical, Spencer.
The fire shield is a lifesaver in this stage.
Yeah, hold on to it. Don't lose it, because it's worth it. Is it worth it?
Yes.
Yes, it's worth it. And there's something really cool that happens by the end of Act 1. I thought the mid-boss was a bit of a cop-out. They did it's a very similar boss to Oil Ocean.
Yeah, that's lame.
Yeah, not cool, Sonic.
Hey,
but
he's got to step up his game, man.
Yeah, he's got to step up the game. Honestly, I can't think of too much else to talk about with this stage, because I don't feel like they tried to do too much here.
Yeah, I feel like of the stages we've talked about so far, this is the most straightforward.
And they might actually be to its detriment. I'm not really sure. But I don't mind it. I think it's a good playthrough. It's very playable.
Yeah, this was a stage that whenever I was playing through Sonic Mania for the first time and I saw Lava Reef zone pop up on my loading screen, I was like, really?
Second to last one, if I'm not mistaken.
I was like, really? Lava Reef? Okay, yeah, but really? It's that's a weird one. That's a weird choice.
Yeah, not the finest pick. I do like what happens after you beat the mid-boss, though. All of the lava cools down. So now you can start running on it. Everything is crystallized. The color palette has changed drastically. I don't know that the level gets any better. It actually becomes a bit harder because you have to do kind of these drastic jumps, but I think it's actually a nice tonal change for the remainder of the game and the content that's to come. What do you remember about Lava Reef Zone Act 2?
Other than the palette change, I remember those little tunnels that suck you in and spit you out at the other side. You know what I'm talking about? The little tunnels? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm looking here.
I don't know what else to call them. Other than that, yeah, it's very similar to the other edition of the stage. There are those little parts where you hang on to the little colander-looking thing, and it spins around, and you have to use those to jump up. Those are
that's a Labyrinth Zone trope.
No, the Labyrinth Zone trope is the conveyor belts. That's a Labyrinth
They
Zone.
have similar conveyor belts here, though.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying, is that those are the Labyrinth Zone trope. I saw
what were you talking about?
The little the little spinning things with the handles. Do you like hold on to and your character spins around it, and then you can jump up to like the next one?
Oh yeah, I remember those.
That's
Not like the craziest mechanic, but
yeah, not the crazy. It was a neat effect though. Yeah.
would you say it contributed to the aesthetic?
I would say that it wasn't a labyrinth to get through.
There's a lot of things you could call them, but Clue Clue Land ain't one.
This is an interesting stage transition as well because it does like all crystallize. It's a really cool effect, but again, I don't think this level is too crazy and too exciting. You know.
How about like the transition towards the end of it? Knuckles is on the top of like the ladder case, and he starts pushing a boulder towards you.
Oh yeah. Dun 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 dun.
No, don't fear, anyone. Sonic Jones is here to rescue the Flickies. Hi, I'm Sonic Jones. I'm here today.
Hi, I'm Sonic Jones. Have you or your family been affected by giant boulders flying your way? Call me at 1-800 Sonic will help you with your problems, and I will help you with your problems.
If you subscribe now for the 10-step boulder avoidance, we can guarantee that you might have a chance at surviving inside of a pyramid if Dr. Robotnik is in the golem. What did you golem?
What did you say about columns?
I didn't say anything about golem.
Have boulders been ruining your day? Hi, I'm Sonic.
And with me today is Knuckles. Hi, I'm Knuckles. And Knuckles...
Together... Together, we are here to help to say no to boulders. Just say no.
Now, Sonic, I mean, I hear where you're coming from. And I agree. I think the world has been devastated by boulders. And they're just causing too much of an environmental hazard for us to continue on this trajectory. So now, with that, we're going to bring you to Eggman. Sonic? All right, Alex.
All right. Hi, I'm Eggman. I was kidding. That's not Eggman. So we go to the final boss battle. This one's a beefy one. The lava's back.
Back in town.
What happens here, Ted?
Okay, so Knuckles made you fall like to the bottom of the volcano, and Sonic's got to kind of hop his way across more of these descending platforms. He eventually ends up at the top of this kind of lava reef, and he has to jump on like one of four little rock platforms that are descending. On the way, you have the opportunity to get a couple power-ups, including the electric power-up and the fire power-up. And I don't know if you can infer which one you need, but you are in a volcano.
Is the bubble shield?
So there you are in the bottom of the volcano without a bubble shield. And Eggman sprouts out of the lava in his little submarine eggmobile. And he causes the volcano to drip the lava towards him. And he starts firing his spike balls at you. And you have to avoid them and let them hit himself. If you have the fire shield, you don't take any damage from the lava, and you can just let them hit him and be on your merry way. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, he kind of destroys himself.
Great way to go out.
I like the scale of this boss, and then I like the different... I don't know, it seems like a different style than we've seen before. And also kind of reminds me of a Rocket Knight Adventures boss fight. But yeah, he destroys himself, man. How smart
How do you like your eggs? Burnt to a crisp.
How smart is this guy again?
He's the Eggman.
I am the Eggman. So yeah, that was...
Hi.
Hi, I am Eggman.
I'm here to deliver your eggs, and we have 12. They're ready to be cooked.
Have you or your family been harmed by eggs? Hi, I'm Eggman.
I'm here to stand. I'm here to represent about all of the beneficial qualities that eggs have to offer. Did you know eggs offer approximately 10 grams of protein?
Protein.
This tends to be more than your average pistachio.
More than your average pistachio.
We here at the Eggman Foundation recommend at least 2 eggs a day because we know it's going to produce the results that you and your family have been looking for.
So, moving on from Lava Reef, we go.
I can't seem to find this next zone, Teddy.
Well, did you ever play that childhood game where you seek?
I don't know. I mean, I think this is a little hidden, you know.
Well, I think if you really look deep and try to find that which is hidden, you might be rewarded by the royalties of something as grand as a palace.
Hidden Palace.
Welcome to the Hidden Palace Zone.
I might be wrong, and if I'm wrong, nobody correct me.
Okay, I'll correct you.
But I think Hidden Palace was a name of a scrapped Sonic 2 stage. Fun fact. Because there was a bunch of scrapped Sonic 2 stages, and I believe Hidden Palace was actually a name of like one of those stages.
I'll be honest with you, this one might as well have been scrapped.
Yeah, this isn't a level.
It's like they took the brain out of scrap. No, I'm joking. That's bad.
Yeah, this is literally.
But,
yeah, you literally just like work your way up a couple platforms, and you're at a fight.
I was so confused because the first time I got here was this Knuckles, and I just found like a hole in the wall, and it took me here. So I didn't even fight an end boss, and then I just floated through the level and then zoomed up to Sky Sanctuary. So I thought it was a very weird transition.
Yeah.
Then, as Sonic, you play it, and you fight a very easy Knuckles battle. Knuckles.
Yeah.
Knuckles had would Knuckles have a last name or a first name that isn't Knuckles?
Like,
Hi,
Like-
I'm Alan Knuckles.
With the Knuckles Foundation for young echidnas.
Have you or your family been harmed by somebody else's Knuckles?
so
No, not recently.
so you fight Knuckles. It's pretty easy. You just bop him on the head a couple times.
Sounds familiar.
And then you move on, and you actually find that we are in the middle of Angel Island because we found the Master Emerald. This is what Eggman has been after the whole time. This is why he tricked Knuckles. This is why the whole Knuckles versus Sonic thing happened. And Eggman's here to snatch it.
Sounds like you need to put your knuckles up.
I actually like this at playing a Sonic because you get to see Knuckles realize that Sonic's not the bad guy here.
Yeah, it took long enough.
Yeah, and he's like, "Come on, let's go!" And he like bursts the thing through the wall so he can get up to Sky Sanctuary. Not much else to say. They could have done something with this area, you know.
Yeah, I know. If they just revealed it, it might have come to light.
But they didn't do anything with the stage.
Yeah, a bit of a letdown.
Hidden Palace, thumbs down.
More like get rid of Palace.
It's more like it's a long straight stage transition.
Yeah, I agree.
But it has some good context within the story, so I'll let it pass.
A stage transition to what, Alex?
To possibly one of the all-time greatest 2D Sonic stages of all time. One of the greatest of all time.
The load screen.
Sky Sanctuary.
Okay.
We're in the sky.
This is a safe haven, aka a sanctuary.
This place is always so. I don't know. Like every time I've ever played this stage, it just feels very like mystical, you know. It's just these giant like castle-looking structures in the sky. There's just clouds you can jump on. There's like these little rows that like collapse as you run across them. These little bars that like bring you up and down. What stood out to you here?
It felt like a mini boss rush from previous Sonic bosses for a couple of segments. So that was definitely a standout feature. And I love the segue at the end of the level, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
This one had some challenging segments with like interesting checkpoints, and like this had it looks lush and in the sky, and you know it's cool to see this kind of zone. I liked the return of some like Robotnik baddies that are like laser firing miniature Robotniks. It felt like they stepped it up as far as like difficulty without feeling overwhelming. What stands out to you, Alex?
Did you like the return of I forget his name, like Robot Sonic? I forget what this guy's name is. It's not Metal Sonic.
Mecha Sonic or something?
Mecha Sonic, there we go. There's so many fucking robot versions of Sonic in these games, I forget which ones are which. Did you like the return of Mecha Sonic?
Yeah, he was like back in a different way. I had to kind of relearn him. He's not the same. It's not the same. But it's not the same. It was cool to kind of reconfigure that, and also when you play this stage as Knuckles, you end up fighting this like crazy version of him. So that was interesting. Not too challenging though. I didn't find the hardest time with it.
Other than that, I mean, the stage is pretty simple, but I think this one's really fun.
Why do you like it?
Because there's a lot of like verticality, I think, in this stage. Like there's a lot of going up, and I don't know, like that's just kind of like it's just cool because like you're already kind of like the stage gives you the illusion of being suspended up like way up in the air and stuff. I don't know. It's just a neat idea in my head.
It's very empty too as far as the background. It's like pure air.
Yeah, so it makes you feel like you're just up in the air. Yeah.
And there's parts where you're like bouncing off clouds and stuff. It's pretty crazy.
Bouncing off clouds.
I love when you beat Mecha Sonic. This like tower sprouts out of the ground, and then you see Sonic running up this spiral to the top of it.
Because that is one of the all-time greatest like stage transitions. I absolutely love that moment, and they've recreated that moment a few times in other Sonic games, but I don't know if it's ever been to like as good effect as it is here.
Yeah, I agree. But you can't have a Sonic game without a crazy Robotnik battle at the end. Well, at least on the Genesis.
Why don't I... Oh, sorry. I'm talking to myself here.
So, while you might like your eggs poached over easy, even sometimes fresh off the hatch, Eggman likes his eggs one way. And that's with the slice of death. Because we're taking it to the Death Egg Zone.
Yeah, I love going up that column and the Sky Sanctuary and seeing the Death Egg and being like, oh yeah, you know. It's funny because we've been to the Death Egg before in Sonic 2 and they didn't do anything with it. Remember, they had the hallway and then like a boss fight and then the final fight.
Very creepy too.
Yeah, very very ominous. This is a full functioning 2-stage zone. And
I think it's like the perfect blend of like scrap brain tactics and like that kind of like eerie sci-fi feel.
What was the one from 1?
Scrap Brain.
Scrap Brain. Okay, so what was the one? Oh, sorry, 2 was Metropolis, right?
Oh God.
No.
Bad memories.
No. Yeah,
Metropolis Labyrinth Zone.
Yeah, and 3 had launch base. So this is the 4th time we've had one of these like Eggman facility final zones. And how do you feel this one stacks up to the rest of them?
This one's crazy. Like, I think this one's really running with the theme of Sonic and Knuckles. You know, just putting up Knuckles. It's really trying to fight you and put you down. But you know, you're Sonic Jones. You're a hedgehog adventurer for the wild, you know, petting zoo.
Wild petting zoo. What the fuck?
So, some of the craziness of this stage is just like upside down segments and like just the theme music is crazy. It's got this cool techno kind of vibe. There's like these hovering sections where you have to not like usual, like where Sonic will just hover, but you run on a hovering platform before it disappears. And there's just a lot of craziness going on here. I love it, but it's also very hard. Very hard,
Rightfully so. I mean, if you're playing this starting at Sonic 3, like, this is like level 12. You know? Like, I could not imagine, because I've never played that game like straight through like that from 3 to this. I could imagine marathoning this and then getting here and like not being exhausted, you know?
Yeah. I hear you. To do this in like 2 hours, because that's probably what it would take for a standard playthrough of like Sonic 3 and Knuckles, would be insane. I'd be losing it. But,
I love the little transporters that like put you in the rings and they go bloop 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 bloop. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it's like those like holographic golden rings that'll just move you.
It feels very like, I think of all of the industrial stages, this one feels the most like Robotnik, you know?
There's parts that like play with the Carnival Night magnet style thing. You know, I think this one has like that Carnival Night feel to it. Which, I mean, same game, I guess, if you're playing Sonic 3 and Knuckles. But it also has like Starlight background and like, you know, some of the raising platforms from Starlight.
This is an amalgamation of your skills. And I think as a final zone, they have not done a better job until fucking Mania, where they did the Titanic Monarch zone in that game. But this is great.
This one is amazing. I think it really has that, like, you know, we've been talking since we've been mapping out since the first game about that kind of like feel of technology versus nature, and this is it.
Yeah,
this is that crazy technology zone.
Well, you can tell that they learned from their previous, you know, 3 experiences making these kind of zones. I don't know if you really count Launch Base. So I'll say 2. The other 2 experiences of making these kinds of like final zones, you can tell this is it's challenging, but it's not annoyingly challenging like the like the fucking Metropolis Zone, and it's not. I don't remember how we felt about Scrap Brain, but
I think by that point in mapping it out, we were kind of like jaded towards it. I actually don't mind it. But if you take the wrong paths in Scrap Brain, that one can be a pain in the ass.
Yeah, so I feel like this one is like, it's kind of like you said about the first Sandopolis. It's fair. It's hard, but it's fair.
Yeah, I agree, and it'll keep you on your toes. Like, I wouldn't want to play this game and not be challenged this way.
Yeah.
You know, I think this is a good, solid, hearty challenge and kind of a good way to kind of send off the series. But before it sends off the series, there's a final battle. Alex, would you care to describe it?
Robo Eggman. I think that's the name of that machine. So after getting through the Death Egg, which is, you know, totally not a Star Wars ripoff.
No, it is. We can be honest about that.
Is there a section before that fight?
Yeah, actually, okay, so there's this Death Egg Zone Act 2, which is a little different, and this is the part where they start like bringing back the Scrap Brain elevators, and also these things like running upside down, which I found insane. There's a part where you fight Eggman. And you have to like keep going up the elevators and making him drop these like spiky things on him. That one's a little annoying. Also, I should probably mention the Act 1 boss, which was like this
oh yeah, we totally
like kind of Mother Brain-esque thing, I guess.
We totally skipped that, didn't we?
Yeah, that wasn't worth it. Was it worth it?
No.
Wasn't worth it. But anyways, you get to the real meat and potatoes here, which is the Robo Eggman big boss battle. Big boss battle.
Big boss battle. Big booty ball.
The finest. Big boss battle. Robo Eggman. Oh my gosh, it's like, okay, well, my first impressions of it were like, oh my god, this is a drag. They did the same thing as in Sonic 2, where you fight this big, oversized Robo Eggman, and you have no rings to protect you. And, you know, he goes through like 3 phases that you have to attack. He drops his 3 fingers down from each side. You have to hit each finger 3 times and manage to like destroy the hands. Then he starts chasing you, like ready to chomp you down with his face. Breathes fire out of his nostrils. You hit his nostrils. He opens his mouth, starts to fire a laser beam, and you have to hit the laser side of his mouth like 2 or 3 times each time. And as soon as he does that, after that's over, you know, he explodes. He escapes in his Robo Egg Machine. I should really know the name of that thing by now, but I don't. That thing, and you have like the whole stage collapsing as you're running left to right, like meteors falling out of the sky, and you have to bop them 8 times, and that's the game.
And I don't want to spoil it for Teddy because Teddy has not played through getting all the Chaos Emeralds.
Well, I requested not to be spoiled the true ending per se.
So I'm not spoiling it, but I will say that if you have all the Chaos Emeralds by this point, either by playing through Sonic and Knuckles or playing through Sonic 3 and Knuckles, you get a final fight that stems off from that. That's all I'll say. You turn to Super Sonic and you're in space.
Sonic in space?
I like this last fight. It feels epic. I like the design of the Robo Eggman. I like it better than the 1 and 2, for sure. The 1 and 2 feels so unfair. This one I feel like is definitely doable. It's hard, yeah, because it's the last boss fight, but it's not like Sonic 2 hard, you know?
Yeah, Sonic 2 was so annoying with that end boss.
Sonic 2, it's hard to figure out where the fucking hitbox is. I thought, you know, that's my issue with that fight a lot of the time.
They did way better with this one. I was like on the edge of my bed, like, you know, eyes glued to the screen, like I can't lose now. And just learning it, I think, was a big thing too. And just for like the standard boss, I don't even know about that true end boss.
Yeah, I think you should experience it. But if you're playing through the game casually, you're probably not like up to get all the Chaos Emeralds anyway. So this would be your experience.
Yeah, for the standard player, that's true. I mean, if you have a Sonic 3 file and you happen to have it saved, it actually saves all Chaos Emeralds you get every time you do the playthrough on your save file.
Yeah.
So, like, I have them all anyway. I just need a physical cartridge for it.
Well, I have a physical cartridge today.
Well, I have a physical cartridge of 3.
Well, put them together. It's like Voltron.
Yeah, just add a 32X and you're set.
Add a Game Genie, 32X, Sonic and Knuckles with Sonic 3 on top of it. You get a whole tower.
Just give it a hat while you're at it.
Man, so that's Sonic and Knuckles, and it feels weird being here, Teddy. We're at the end of the Genesis titles, not counting CD. Will we ever do CD? I hope we do CD.
Sure.
But in terms of like the quote-unquote classic games that are on Genesis, this is the end. We're not doing Spinball. We're not. I doubt we'll do 3D Blast. I don't know about that one. Maybe that one's a possibility, I guess. But this is it, man. And how does it feel to be here at the end?
Well, you know, I'm honored to be on our show, hosting a podcast about Sonic, my favorite game.
My favorite
console. No, we're not done, man. We gotta walk through this map and just talk it out.
Oh, well, I know we're not done. I'm just saying, like, now that you've experienced Sonic and Knuckles, and since last September when we started this whole Sonic gig, how does it feel to have played through all of the original Genesis titles?
Oh man, I'm stoked. But I mean, I played through the first 3 games like many times, and even the ones I didn't finish, I finished 5 years ago. But it was nice to be able to play Sonic and Knuckles like a genuine way for the first time. Like I have the GameCube set up, so I'm playing it with the Mega Collection. But I was really happy to be able to do kind of a deep dive analysis on just the worlds and environments in these games. I think each time I really learned something about the game just by the process of mapping. And again, I was kind of pleasantly surprised here about some of the things that we realized along the way. Because I knew it was a challenging game from the start. I didn't necessarily think to pinpoint that many of the stages have gimmicks, that do not always work to the stage's benefit. With that being said, some of them really work to the stage's benefits, especially like in that last zone. But I was kind of curious just to do kind of like a map through.
Yeah, what are our usual rundown?
So we'll start with Mushroom Hill.
Yeah. I think it is a little crazy on the gimmicks, but I still like it.
Yeah, man, I don't know. That one's okay. I'm not crazy about the gimmicks, enemy designs, and I think it's a bad first stage.
Flying Battery.
Okay, that's good. It's a good stage.
A great stage. I think it's one of the standouts, and I'm glad they chose this one to come back for Mania.
I think it had a couple issues. Namely, those parts where there's like a platform you have to hop on, and then like kind of an awkward jump. But all in all, it did feel pretty epic, so I was pretty content with it.
Sandopolis.
Oh man, I love it. I know it's hard.
It's almost criminal that they chose Lava Reef over this for Mania.
This is a real sleeper stage. I think it's probably one of the best in the game, and it's a very hardy but fair challenge.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think it's a standout, and it's a stage that I always look forward to playing.
Damn ghosts.
Damn it ghosts.
Lava Reef.
It's good.
Yeah, good enough, but not standout.
There's not a lot of crazy gimmicks, but it's also like pretty samey on all the way through.
Yeah, very forgettable what the mechanics even are. But I do like the music, and I like the color palette, the aesthetic.
Yeah, I like how it changes, too. Hidden Palace.
That one can stay in hiding.
Sky Sanctuary.
Well, Alex, Hidden Palace.
It's on a stage. Sky Sanctuary. Fantastic. I like the stage.
Yeah, I thought it was cool that there was like a very distinct difference between the Knuckles playthrough and the Sonic playthrough. I thought it was good. I wasn't that won by it.
It's very. I think I like it due to my experience with the Sonic franchise, which I'm hoping to pass on to Teddy as we move forward. And the knowledge that I have for the Echidna race, I like seeing this sort of like ancient-looking civilization. These like structures and
Fair
stuff.
Enough.
So
it's cool to see Mecha Sonic again.
Death Egg Zone.
Woo!
Yeah,
that one's wild. I love it.
They did it. They made a good final stage.
Finally.
Yeah, it took them a few tries.
Sonic 1 was a little whack. Sonic 2 was, oh my god, that whole end sequence was just a mess.
Fuck the end of that game.
This one was a winner.
Winner. Eggs for dinner.
And better launch base. What the hell is launch base?
Yeah, well, again, I don't really consider that because it's if you're playing them back to back, it's like leading up to this.
So weird though. I don't even know where launch base really falls logically in this, like this combination of Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it?
Like why is there this kind of like pseudo heavy Death Egg Robotnik battle midway through the quote unquote game?
Well, here's what happened, Teddy. They were going to make this all one game, but I believe what happened was that I've heard a few different things, but I believe the actual story was that they wanted to meet a holiday deadline for Sonic 3, so they split the game in half, and they released the first half of Sonic 3 and then the second half of Sonic and Knuckles later on. So that's why it kind of like has a pseudo ending to it. It's not though, it's.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. It exists.
I think the idea of the Sonic and Knuckles cartridge is neat, like the lock-on technology, because you can even put on Sonic 2 and play as Knuckles through that game, and that's a super neat thing. Too bad it doesn't work for other games. You know, as much as I like Sonic 2 and Knuckles, I want to play Golden Axe and Knuckles, or Streets of Rage 3 and Knuckles, or fucking Shinobi 3 and Knuckles. You know,
Mario and Knuckles.
Mario and
I think they'd be a great
Mario
combo.
Andretti and Knuckles. Yeah. You know. Just
NHL Knuckles. I think you fit right in.
What's your favorite Genesis game, Teddy?
Jeez, man, it's probably one of these Sonic games.
Oh, damn it! Well, that's not cool then. I was gonna say, imagine putting that game on here and having Knuckles playable, but you can already do that.
What if I did Sonic and Knuckles? And Knuckles.
Knuckles and Knuckles. Too many Knuckles.
There could never be too many Knuckles. Not when you have VR chat.
I'm sad, man. I mean, we're moving forward to the Sonic franchise. I don't know what direction we're gonna go in next with this, because I don't want to stop the Sonic train from rolling down the tracks here. I hope I don't want to spoil anything, but I know that you just got a copy of a certain game.
Yeah, hey, and we're planning to map it out. So, Button Mapper listeners, make sure to subscribe whatever platform you're on. We are on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, as well as Podbean.
So, can I say what that game is?
Well, I don't know. They may have to do a little adventuring through our playlist.
Teddy got a copy of Sonic Adventure DX, which means we'd be transitioning into the 3D era of Sonic. But I have also told Teddy that I will let him borrow Sonic Gems Collection with Sonic CD on it. So I want to know. I'm kind of curious from the just from the listeners. Like, would you rather see us do Adventure next or CD?
Yep, pick one, and it better not be 3D Blast.
It's not 3D Blast. Adventure or CD? Because CD is like it's part of the classics, series. So I feel like we have to do it eventually.
We welcome the feedback.
So, or we can just move on to Adventure and open our hearts.
Do some Mario Andretti.
Yeah, ready for the Mario Andretti map out next time?
Mm-hmm. Or the Poppin' Twinbee.
Poppin' Twinbee. Fucking Poppin' Twinbee.
Hey, Alex, if I said, what's poppin'?
Twinbee.
Twinbee.
Booty pop. I can't stop. I don't know. When did we did the Mario 64 map out? Like a couple months ago at this point. And since that map out has happened, I don't think Big Booty Bomb has left my thoughts.
You've opened your heart.
Hi.
You've opened your heart.
I'm Big Booty Bomb.
I'm here today to advertise to you a map out. But it's not just any map out. It's a map out of Big Booty Bomb's Bob-Omb Adventure Field.
Open your bombs.
Switch D4.
Switch D4.
On the Nintendo Switch D4, you can play Big Bob-Omb's Booty Bomb Battlefield. What? Did you say Battlefield? That's right. Connect with players from around the globe to take down big booty bombs from all across the nation.
Big booty battles.
Alex, anything for the listeners about Big Booty Bomb?
Big Booty Bomb!
You heard it here first, folks.
Can we close out with a little rap number for our boy Knuckles?
I mean, yo, I'm Knuckles, and I got Knuckles. Some things are funny, they make you Knuckles.
Hey, I'm Knuckles. I like to suckle on my knuckles. I wear a belt buckle. Join us next time where we play Knuckles Chaotix. Only not really, because that game's like $90 and I don't want to buy it, but I also want it. SEGA, release Knuckles Chaotix on the Switch so that I don't have to pay $90 for a cartridge.
Oh!
Knuckles. Drops the mic.
Knuckles!
Big booty Knuckles.
Big booty bum! Do I know the way? Do you know the way?
Yes, let me show you the way. Oh my god. I apologize. Apologize for my behavior.
It's like almost 1 in the morning.
Beautiful.
We're talking about big booty Knuckles.
Big booty Knuckles.
Nobody looked that up because I'm sure it's a thing.
Yeah, I would not put that in your Google search bar.
Big booty Knuckles. Do it if you dare, but don't share it with us. We don't want to know what it is.
Yeah, please. Preferably not.
All right, gang. It's been a fun time. It's been a great time. I've loved mapping out Sonic and Knuckles. I've loved mapping out all the Sonic games. I love mapping out games. I love being here.
Yeah, man. It's welcome. Welcome to the Button Mappers.
Sorry, Spencer, you weren't even invited to this one because you would have said no anyway.
Yeah, well, we've come to learn and expect at this point. But we can expect 20 comments, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, all dumb Sonic comments. We're like, I don't like this thing, and he's like, I don't like Sonic.
I love the part where you talked about columns.
Columns on a console. Hi, I'm Columns. Has your family or friends ever been affected by the Columns theme song? Call 1-800-GODDAMN the Columns theme song sucks, and we'll help you get new hearing aids.
Hey, it beats Clue Clue Land. That's why we're a SEGA channel. Oh,
Where my Clue Clue at?
where my Clue Clue?
Where my Clue Clue at?
Not here, that's for sure.
All right, Knuckles out.
Knuckles clan, Knuckles. I just said Knuckles 4 times.
I'm gonna spread my dreadlocks and fly away now. Whoosh.
Open your dreads.
Hey y'all, don't forget to subscribe to them Button Mappers.